Ethena Price Prediction 2025. Why investors are pouring billions into ENA. Investors are moving billions into Ethena while most people are focused on Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's not a hype token, but a project designed to be a yield machine, and the price predictions are insane. In the next few minutes, you'll get a complete analysis of why ENA is set to lead the next stablecoin revolution. Welcome to Zenx Crypto, your channel for honest, data-driven altcoin analysis. Have you ever wondered why suddenly billions are being pumped into Ethena? Why are so many people investing? As already mentioned, most people are focused on Bitcoin or Ethereum, but they're overlooking a project that's currently turning the stablecoin market upside down. Today I'll explain why ENA could be one of the most exciting altcoins and what the price predictions mean for your portfolio. Ethena isn't a classic stablecoin like USDT or USDC. Instead, the project brings the synthetic US dollar, USD, to Ethereum. This dollar generates yield without banks, purely through crypto strategies. But how does it work? It's quite simple. As mentioned, Ethena combines staked Ethereum with short positions on futures. The result is a stable dollar, but with an annual yield of 10 to 20%. That's truly unique in the crypto world. The market problem and the solution, right? The biggest problem, stablecoins like USDT or USDC are tied to the banking system. If banks become unstable, so do stablecoins. We already saw this in 2023 with the USDC incident, when billions were frozen. But Ethena solves exactly this problem. USDe is completely crypto native and independent of banks while still being profitable. This offers investors security, returns, and independence all in one. That's why investors are putting in billions, right? Because this year, Ethena has grown to $13 billion, faster than any competitor before. On top of that, there are over $500 million in real protocol profits. Top investors like Binance and Dragonfly are backing Ethena. That, of course, makes ENA extremely exciting and more credible. Before we dive deep into the analysis again, grab yourself a coffee, leave a like for me, and if you want to become an insider yourself, check out my free group, the Zenx Insiders. That's where like-minded people meet and we exchange exciting insider tips and also altcoin gems. You can find all the information in the video description. A quick disclaimer, my channel is not financial advice. It's purely for informational purposes. Let's start with the market cap. $4.63 billion, so it's a mid-cap altcoin, far from Ethereum or Bitcoin, but still extremely strong overall. The stablecoin sector has a volume of $138 billion, so there's still massive room for growth. An impressive 8 in this area. Let's move on to the circulating supply. Out of 15 billion, 6.88 billion are already in circulation, which is about 46%. Not perfect, but above my threshold, so that's a solid 7 here as well. Now, what does the roadmap look like? The roadmap is strong. USD listing on Binance, new products like Mega USD, partnerships with AVEX, and the major goal of activating the fee switch for stakers. The project has already achieved over $13 billion in supply and more than 500 million in revenue. So the team remains stable and delivers. Strength 9. That brings us to the team. Who is the team? The founder is Guy Young, a former Parify Capital member and an expert in derivatives. The team is extremely strong and has accomplished in recent months what takes others years. Strong 8. Next, what is the narrative? The narrative is extremely strong. A stablecoin that generates yield without the risks of banks, especially in times of low interest rates, regulation, and uncertainty. It's a game changer. Strength 9. So what problem are they solving? Stablecoins like USDT or USDC are tied to the banking system. Ethena, on the other hand, is completely crypto native in its narrative and at the same time profitable. Ethena solves the problem of being safe but useless by combining yield with stability. Strong 9. Next, sustainability. Ethena runs on Ethereum with proof of stake, which means 99% less energy consumption than before. No mining, no huge server farms here. Strong 8. Next, what about investors and capital? Top names like Binance Labs, Dragonfly, and Fly Capital, plus over $500 million in revenue, in other words, profit. In the end, that's almost 900 million in backing capital. That shows the money is there and in extremely large amounts. Strong 9. So, how strong is the competition? As mentioned, USDT and USDC, but also projects like Ondo Finance. However, none of them combine stablecoins with yield as powerfully as Ethena does, and USD is currently growing faster than they are. If you're interested in other altcoin analyses, check out the XNX Universe playlist. Next weekend, I also have 2 more altcoins that could be very exciting for you coming from the low cap sector. Take a look and subscribe to the channel. Strength. 8 in the area of marketing. They focus heavily on X, ultimately run learn and earn campaigns, and have a good balance between hype and substance. A strong 8. Then the simplicity of the idea, staking ETH plus hedging with shorts equals a stable dollar yield. It sounds complex, but it's actually quite simple. As a user, you just use USDe or SDE and basically earn a yield. Strength 8. Long-term vision. Ethena wants to grow to $100 billion in USDe supply, with intentional integration and RWA connection. That's ambitious, but still realistic. A strong 9. So what about the tokenomics? Max supply is 15 billion ENA. No inflation mechanism, but there are massive buybacks. That's a solid 7. FTV is 10 billion, market cap is 4.6 billion, so the ratio is 2.18, also a solid 9. Then how about the liquidity? The ratio is extremely high, which means they are very liquid. Strength, 9. So how was the token distribution? In the end, 30% went to the team through vesting, 25% to investors, plus an airdrop, but with lockups. So there's no huge risk of dumping, as I said, since everything has lockup periods. Here, strength is 8. Next, regarding the top coin holders, no whale or wallet holds more than 15%. 915 million ENA are staked, so they are locked up long-term. That's a strong 7. Next, the utility. ENA is used for governance, meaning voting rights, staking, revenue sharing, and also access to products like USDe. In other words, they have an extremely strong use case. 9. Next, the community. They are very active on X, Discord, and Telegram. There's strong engagement, lots of discussions. Are you yourself a holder of ENA or are you a fan of ENA? Write it in the comments, #ENA, so the community takes notice. In this area, strength is an 8. So, what events are coming up next? Phase switch is coming up, new integrations, B-bags, stablecoin as a service. So in the next 6 months, there's going to be a lot happening. Strong 9. Ethena is actually not just any altcoin, but a project that has moved billions in less than a year and has thus redefined the stablecoin market. Let's take a look at where they stand on the Cenex ranking list. As I said, they have a fairly reasonable valuation and still have growth potential because the sector, stablecoins, tokenomics, roadmap, and community are all solid, almost better than some top 20 coins. The narrative is extremely strong. It's a profit-generating coin, completely independent from banks, and there's hardly any competition. On my ranking list, they score 83%, which is extremely strong, putting them among the most exciting projects. My assessment: Ethena is an extremely exciting coin because it brings a completely different narrative. Stablecoins independent of banks, the combination as real-world use cases, growth, massive investor demand, and the fact that they come from the USA gives them a serious chance. If you want to know whether I hold it in my portfolio or which altcoins I hold, then take a look at the CX Elite. There, you'll get full access to my ranking list. By the way, I also include altcoins there that I haven't yet analyzed on YouTube. I provide the analysis as a PDF. A lot of altcoins are being added now, especially with the current altcoin season. Just take a look at everything. Either check the video description or simply scan the QR code here at the end. Have fun. You know what's exciting? When you look at Ethena, you immediately notice that it's not an ordinary altcoin, but a project that's changing the rules and is still at the beginning of its journey. Let's talk about the different price scenarios. A bear scenario. Imagine a world where the market is rather weak. Investors are cautious. Ethena could already be a rock in the surf here, but there wouldn't be a big explosion. In that case, we'd see a price just below $1. Now let's move on to the normal scenario. The market is growing steadily. Stablecoins are seeing increased demand and are establishing themselves as a real alternative to USDT and USDC. Here, the price could rise to between $1 and $3. Now let's look at the optimistic scenario. If something different happens, Ethena isn't just used but becomes the standard in DeFi, institutions jump in, stakers get mega returns, and ENA is needed in this sector, then $5 to $7 are possible. And now the extreme scenario. The switches are activated, daily buybacks, USDe grows exponentially, becomes a core component in every crypto portfolio. Then we're not talking about just a few dollars anymore, but about 10 to 14 US dollars. That would be massive. What will 2030 look like if, as mentioned, the entire crypto market grows massively and Ethena's market share keeps increasing with more and more demand? then prices that seem unthinkable now could become possible. In that case, ENA could be at $80, which would be huge. If you're interested in ENA or other exciting altcoins that you can't always find on every exchange, I've linked the crypto exchange for you below in the pinned comment. If you sign up using my link or the QR code, you'll even get a bonus, so definitely take advantage of it now. The offer is only available for a short time. So, what does my chart analysis say? Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to my chart analysis of Ethena. First, just a quick note. I use TradingView and a custom developed indicator that basically shows me two things. Let's do a quick example. Here, a lot of people sold 10R, which means we ended up in the oversold zone. This is indicated here by the small green dot. Since the token is still quite new, for example here on Coinbase the data is still limited, the more data I have, the better it works with the indicator. Definitely. This would have been an entry point here. Here, for example, we then get pushed upwards. A lot of people are buying, FOMO kicks in, more and more comes into the market, then it's simply an overbought area, and that's indicated by a red dot, which for me simply means I would take partial profits here or exit. But what does it look like at the moment? As we've seen, we had a drop here. Let's take a look at that. All-time high, bam! Then about 36–37% and a green dot has formed. Personally, I would see this as a good entry point, but important. This is not financial advice, it's just my personal opinion, and it could still go further down, and with that we've already reached the end. But now I have another exciting analysis for you that you might also like if you enjoy Ethereum. This analysis here is extremely exciting. See you in a moment!